All right, everybody, welcome back to Cultural FAQs on the Brazilian Dragon Productions. My name is Felipe. I'm the F in FAQ, and I am joined, as always, by Quandel. Quandel, how are you doing this June? Happy Pride.
Per the Q and Queen and Quandel.
Yes.
Simultaneously.
How has your month since we last recorded been?
You know, the doll is living.
Yes. You had exams, I heard.
Yeah. Like, when I say living, I'm not like, oh, yes, we're living. Like, we're alive.
Okay. we're in survival mode.
Exactly. Like,
yes.
yeah, I had exams and stuff. So that was pretty... And then some other stuff, like I had to get situated as far as, like, a further schooling and stuff. But it's going good. It's all handled now. It was just a lot of paperwork.
Paperwork.
Yeah.
What is this, the DMV?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But it is Pride season. How has your Pride been so far?
It's okay. It's never okay. Really like, you know, just vibrant as I don't know, I guess.
Have you done any?
Who don't know gay people.
Have you done any activities for Pride yet, or have you just been like surrounded by paperwork?
Surrounded by paperwork. I want to. So there is this like Freaknik for queer people on the 9th. That I don't know if you remember her, but she was like this tall black girl. She was a little thicker, and she was super funny. She goes to QT
Brie?
every once. Yes.
Yeah, I literally saw her 2 days ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she's hosting it.
Okay.
And so she's usually hosting a lot of stuff, and I've heard some of her DJ stuff, and it's
cute. She tried out. She sampled her song that she's
performing
at something.
How was it? Was it good?
It was. I don't want to spoil it in case she performs it, but yeah, she's so funny, like so talented.
Yeah.
We love her.
Yeah. She's so multifaceted, which I didn't realize, but I was like, okay, we love it.
So you're going to Freaknik on the 9th?
I'm thinking because, like, one thing I don't like about West Hollywood is that a lot of the music is just not fun, or I don't feel like sometimes they do put out good songs, but it's not mixed well. And I'm a big vibes girl, and if I don't get the vibes, then I can't dance, and I love to dance.
Yeah, I wish that there was good music because I love to dance, and I'm like, I should be a DJ, but I also have so many different ambitions that I feel like adding DJing to my plate, like, it's interesting. It's not that I'm uninterested. It's just like, where is it on the priority list these days? Because otherwise we're going to be just suffocated by talent. And I am a very creative and ambitious person, but I can't put all of that. I do need to take some time for self-care, which I love to overcommit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're like that too.
Yeah, well, actually, that's very interesting because this month has been really about like, okay, I have a lot of things that I want to do while exams are going on. I was like, okay, I have a lot of things. How do we give each thing care and love that it needs for me to grow? You know? And so I had to take a step back and really look. I was like, okay, here are all the things I like. Here is kind of the priority list of how I like them. And here's what I need to do for me to feel comfortable pursuing all of these things at once.
I feel that 100%. Like, I have so much that I want to do, but I also need to take care of me. And there's also not enough time in the day between having a full-time job and trying to learn about myself, going to therapy. It's like there's so much that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I always want to be doing more, but where's the time?
Yeah.
Where's the energy? Sometimes I just want to lay in bed and just sleep.
Exactly.
But then I'm like, I wasn't productive today. And I don't know. I feel like this whole burst of energy inside of me, but then also there's times that I'm just like, I need to crash and just like lay here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you feel like you have that urgency, like you're not doing anything?
Because my brain is always moving, so I'm like, if I'm not doing anything with it, like it's wasted energy.
Yeah.
Because like I'll be laying in bed and then like I try to like, let me at least plot out something that I'm thinking about like creatively. But then it's also like, but let me think about my day. So it's hard. It's like there's so much to do, so little time. I like have too many lives to live in just one life. And I saw a tweet that was basically like, yeah, I have all these projects that I want to work on and all these places that I want to see and all these dishes I want to learn how to cook. And then it's just like, but only one life to live it all.
Exactly.
And I'm like, oh, I wish, you know what? In this economy, we should just be given the money to pursue whatever we want to pursue.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have to be working for it. Capitalism.
Yeah, I know.
Which leads us to our first conversation topic. So just again, if you're joining us for the first time, this is our second episode, but we talk about the pop culture of the last month. And Quandel, the very first thing on our list was a tweet you sent me with Rihanna as the face of it, the capitalism tweet. So should I try to pull it up?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I am on airplane mode.
Oh.
So do you want to pull it up? Since it was your discovery. But basically, it was like, what led you to realize that capitalism is unhealthy? I believe that was the gist of it. And people were talking about when they realized their job was trash, when they realized that people don't care about others. And I thought some of the tea on there was very spicy. And speaking of Rihanna, while you pull this up, did you see the latest Rihanna that she had the shirt on that said, "I'm retired"?
Yes.
Ma'am, I am not okay with that. Like, listen, live your best life. You don't need to be making more music for you, but you do for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of over her trolling. I'm just like, girl, give us the music.
Where is the album?
I don't care for it. I'm kind of like...
You don't want an album?
I do want an album, but I'm not going to beg for it.
I'm going to beg. I'm a beg.
I just like, I'm okay with... I love the music still. I listen to Anti. I listen to like all the music.
I think Good Girl Gone Bad is one of the best albums of all time.
Loud. I mean, like so many good... like so much good body of work.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm good. And also I have other faves. I'm like, I'm gonna let her be a mom and be happy. Like, girl, okay, I'm not...
I was underwhelmed by her Super Bowl performance, but I think she committed before she got pregnant.
Yeah.
So she probably was like adapting to it.
So,
and I don't blame her for it. I blame whoever decided those songs, which might have been her, but I was like, you need to have more of your entire discography and not just the later parts. Because I was like, besides Umbrella, did she do anything from her first 3 albums?
I don't.
Or her two. So. At least the first 2 albums were very underrepresented. Like, I was like, where is SOS? Where is Disturbia?
Yeah.
Which is possibly my favorite song of all time.
That's why I'm mad she never performed at Coachella, like headlined.
Oh my God. Like, even if you're not making new music, can you at least come out of the hiding every once in a while for us, for the girlies?
I guess she does when she's showing that she has a new baby.
Yeah, I meant musically. Like,
oh yeah,
I would drop some dime for Rihanna. There's like some artists that I would be like, it's worth it. Like, if Beyonce does a Cowboy Carter tour, I will be there.
Yes, 100%. Yes. Yeah. Well, actually, I funny enough, I feel like Rihanna, if she was really like were to come back, I feel like she'd be the only person that could rival Taylor. Because people
think Beyonce can't rival Taylor?
I love Beyonce, but it's not. I mean, numbers wise, it's not there. I love Beyonce, and I think she's a better artist. Like, come on, Taylor would even say that. But as far as streaming numbers, when Rihanna comes out, she beats everybody.
That's very valid.
And then Taylor
like,
now is doing that
I know
too.
Taylor like does the thing. I feel like Taylor and Beyonce are right now the top 2. Like,
yes,
in terms
they're
of
the top
numbers.
2, yeah.
But I feel like, and don't come for me, Swifties. Don't come for me, Charlie from Survivor. But I think that Beyonce is more creatively fulfilling. I feel like there's so much range in her music, and Taylor is a little samey. But like, do what works for you. But I like old school Taylor a lot more than modern Taylor.
Yes, same. But I think the thing is, I think a lot of people like, how do I say, like kind of like simple hits, you know? And because Beyonce is so established and she puts so much pride in her work, she's giving us so much she's giving not just great music, but intellectual music.
Yeah, and I think my biggest differentiator between Taylor and Beyonce, and again, please don't come for me, Swifties, I think Beyonce is a superstar artist and Taylor is a singer-songwriter. I feel like Taylor does incredible with the music, but Beyonce has so much care and like thought behind the visualizers, the like story in all of her songs, like, and the creativity, the craft behind it, whereas Taylor's just like, let me put my feelings on paper and get it out into the world via song. I feel like Beyonce is telling a story, like with Cowboy Carter, she's telling the story of like underrepresented Black women in country music or Black musicians, period. Yeah. And
it's beyond her.
It's like a whole, like, this is an education. And Renaissance was like, okay, this is like the club scene version of like, so I feel like she puts a lot more thought and creativity, whereas Taylor is more personal and Beyonce is more legacy.
Yes.
And I'm like, not to say that I really like Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. I think that's a really
she has a legacy
song.
for herself.
I'm just very much like, and maybe it's like I am becoming more and more comfortable with the fact that I like country music. And I like, as a kid, I think I liked Taylor Swift stuff a lot more than I do her modern stuff. I'm not a big like bedroom pop girly. I'm trying to become one, like, because I'm a big Olivia Rodrigo guy. I would amputate my leg for who?
Sabrina Carpenter.
I like Espresso, but I'm Team Olivia through and through.
Oh yeah.
If we're going back to the Joshua Bassett tea, I like Joshua Bassett's music, even though like he kind of gives me the ick. He's the guy that Olivia Rodrigo was in. Okay. Sour was about basically. But you know whose album I'm really obsessed with right now? Ooh. Ari's Eternal Sunshine.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's like incredible. And then
what's your faves?
I mean the intro, honestly, like the intro to Saturn Return, like I think the intro of that is so good. I love Boy Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. We Can't Be Friends as well. I mean the whole album is great, but I think honestly some of my favorite lyricism and like vocal work is in the intro. It's like when the moon gets bright, like I do not come for me for a concert, but like I sing karaoke.
I will probably go to a concert.
I will go to an Ari concert.
I really
because
like
even her old
too.
stuff like Break Free is immaculate. I was big into Fancy, like 99 Problems.
Yeah.
I'm misquoting all these titles, but like I think Ari is an underrated talent. Like I think she has 100%. Her fans, but 100%. I think people and like she's messy as hell. Like, girl is messy, but writes.
Who's not?
She do be out here for the masses.
Everybody is a little messy. Like, give me an artist, I can give you something.
I mean, Rihanna used to be messy on Twitter.
Exactly.
Like, were you there in the Rihanna Twitter days?
Yes, I was.
Oh my God, she was so funny.
She was ruthless. But I was gonna say some of my songs. So I'm obsessed with Supernatural.
Oh my God, Supernatural is good.
It's one of my favorites.
Do you like the original version or the Troye Sivan version more?
I like the original version.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the song that she does, and then she has the remix with Mariah? I forget what the title is. I can pull it up probably, but
Yes and.
Like I listen to the songs, but I just like they all kind of blend together. So I'm just like, what's the how does that one go?
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
I love them, and they've collaborated before, and I liked it. But this just it wasn't my vibe. It sounded, I don't know. It just didn't flow. It wasn't what I wanted.
My favorite, I think, truly is the intro. Like when she goes like to the moon, like that little vocal thing. Oh, it's so beautiful. Like I could listen to that on loop, and it's like a minute and a half.
And did you listen to what is it, Tortured Poet, or what is it?
I didn't listen to the whole thing. No, ma'am. I don't. It
was so long.
I listened to the highlights, like the ones that people were talking about.
I wanted to. So actually, when it came out, me and my partner were like, "Okay, let's listen to it." Like I like Taylor.
Let's give him a shout out.
Very
Xavier.
Yeah, Xavier.
X and Q.
X and Q. But when we listened to it, and we're like, "Okay, this is," and it was so crazy because what we found out is we only listened to half of the album.
Because there was a two-parter.
Yes, there was two-parters, and I was like, "No, I can't."
Yeah,
I'm
no.
Sorry.
I am like, and this is a critique for Miss Beyonce as well. And don't come for me, Beehive. I think I'd rather like a good 40-minute album like Guts or like Eternal Sunshine than a 2-hour movie. Like I'm more of like, give me a good episode of a TV show than a 2-hour movie in terms of music, because it's so much to commit to, and I already have too much ADHD where I need to listen to the album multiple times before I can start really appreciating it. But that's just a me thing. I know some people love, like, I'm also more of a podcast girly because I need like ADHD stimulation, and music sometimes I like zone out and just only listen to the melody or only listen to the lyrics. Like there were some songs that I was listening to yesterday. I was like, oh, these are beautiful, but I never pay attention to the lyrics that deeply unless I'm like obsessed with something like Olivia Rodrigo. She's such a good songwriter. Like I am a big fan. I'm so sad I can't afford her concert.
I felt like, songwriters, shout out to Taylor and all the girlies, Miley, the song SZA.
Oh, shout out to Miley, Two Most Wanted.
Yes.
So good.
Yeah, I know.
But you were saying
amazing.
SZA.
I was going to say SZA because what you said about Olivia Rodrigo, that's exactly how I felt about SZA. And that's why I cried when I went to her tour. Because it was just like, when you hear that live and everybody's singing and you just feel the feels and you're just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, those you feel the words a little bit more when they write it, definitely.
Yeah. Also, I have not gotten a chance to listen to Brat yet, but Charlie XCX just came out with a new album today. I'm interested to hear that, but I am obsessed with Dua Lipa's new album, Radical Optimism. Is that the new one? No. What is the title of her new one? But like Maria is a banger. I do want to make a TikTok with Maria and Charlie from Survivor this season and set it to Maria. Maria. I also love Houdini on it.
Oh yeah, Houdini.
What's the name of the album?
Love that song. It's Radical Optimism.
Okay, I was like,
right.
that's not her last one. Is like I was trying to confuse. But she's so good, and it's very like summer vibes, which I like. I love a good like album that comes out in May that you can like listen to when you're vibing at the pool. Like last year for me, it was the Jonas Brothers album. Where they released like Vacation Eyes. Yeah. I forget the title. I think it was like the album. It was just called the album. But the Jonas Brothers album last year, like with Vacation Eyes and all those songs, that was a very summer. Like that's like, I mean, there's the lyric, I want to keep my feet in the sand. And I'm like, that Dick is Beach energy. Like I feel like Dua Lipa's is the album of the summer for me right now. Because it's very poppy and vibrant.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
The album of the summer.
We'll see what it is. Yeah, we still got time. This is only June 7th?
Yeah.
7th? Pride 7th, sorry.
All right.
Also, speaking of Pride, I got a shirt on for the video viewers that I bought it for Pride. It says "Bi and probably high." I am not high right now, but
unfortunately,
yes. You a little?
No.
I think I need to take a break from the weed because like I feel like it's not. Like last night I took an edible when I got home. So like I went to Panda Express after driving around for Uber for a little bit. I popped an edible when I got home, ate my Panda Express, and then I was just like I wanted it to burst me with creativity so I could write a little bit at home. Yeah. But I was just like, no, let me put on some Glee music and like just vibe out. And I don't know, it didn't affect me the way I wanted. So I think I need to like take a step back and like I'm only doing it on my weekends now because I was like, oh, I need like some more like variety in life and just remind myself that life can be fun without drinking or getting high, especially during Pride season where there's a lot of drinking.
Yeah. A lot of drugs too. In
I'm not that adventurous at this point in my life, but I've been having a good Pride so far. I got hammered on May 31st.
Oh, tell us about it.
So we went out to WeHo with some of the girlies. So to celebrate, I got into grad school.
Yes! Boo, 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 boo.
I'm very proud of myself. I unfortunately did have to decline the offer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just too expensive.
Oh, gotcha.
And I'm also going through like a self-discovery journey in therapy and like through some work. And I'm just like, I can always apply again when I'm in a better mind space. Gotcha. And someone who's done grad school was like, grad school is a very difficult commitment. If you're not all in mentally, you are going to drown. Yeah. And that really held a lot of weight when I was trying to make my decision because I was like, yes, again, like we were talking about, like we want so much to do in this life, but I think it's not the time and place for me. And I can always apply again. Right. That's what I'm telling myself.
What were you going for?
It would have been school counseling to be a middle school counselor, but girl, the
Doctors
finances,
or masters?
It would be a master's.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be very expensive, and I can always go again. And there's also like, if I wanted to work in a school, there's other ways to do that for less money. And it wasn't something that I was fully on board for. Like I still think I am trying to pursue some in the industry, and I don't know. I think I need to reevaluate like what my values are, and I'm working a lot that with my current therapist, and I am proud of the growth that I've shown. But we did have a hard few months, so the fact that I got in was reason enough to celebrate. Yeah. So we went out for Pride Eve. We were in WeHo. We started at High Tops, and then we went over to the Abbey. And I needed one of my friends, Alex. They had to drive me home because boy was trash.
Yes.
WeHo got some heavy pours.
They do. They really
be careful
do.
if you're out on WeHo, by the way. Like
or don't. No, be careful.
No, because there have been stories. So
oh my gosh, I had a crazy story.
Ooh, let's hear. What's your crazy story?
I didn't even know I was this drunk, but I don't even know how to tell the story. Okay.
You don't have to tell a story if you don't want to. We can move on. This can be like. Do you want to think about it for a moment?
No, I'll tell it. One time I was with friends and I was meeting up with a friend and then I was around their mutual friends, but it was like we were all vibing, so it was like cool. And then their friends really liked me, like just platonically, and so they started buying me a lot of drinks. And like at the time,
just platonically,
yeah. Well, because nothing really happened. Maybe because the person ended up losing their wallet. But the drinks were paid for at that point. But I say platonically because we were just all chilling and stuff, and I think we were just trying to keep the vibe still going. Towards the end of the night, when I was heading home, apparently, I guess I was very intoxicated, and maybe I regurgitated a couple of times along the street, and some neighbors called
The cops?
the cops, and the cops knocked on the door while I was in my car sleeping. And they're like, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm sleeping. And they're like, we got a disturbance. People are wondering if you are okay. You need to Uber home or we're going to arrest you for a DUI. And I was
you weren't driving.
I wasn't driving,
Yeah,
but
you were
you
just
can't
chilling.
be behind the wheel.
You should have just hopped into the
I know I
passenger.
should have I didn't even think about it. I was so damn drunk.
I slept in the back seat of my car one time. I don't remember the context. I might have been drunk, but I didn't drive.
Mhm.
I Ubered home, but I was too tired to go upstairs and sleep in my bed.
Really?
So I was like, let me just pop in the back of my car and
Have
sleep.
you ever passed out somewhere?
Yes, I did pass out. No, not in public. It's always been like, oh, I'm home. But like I passed out in my car like that. Or there was one time where I went to a bar and then instead of going to my apartment, I decided it would be a great idea to sleep on the chairs at the apartment pool, like, and just sleep there in the middle of the night. And I was like, why?
Oh my
I was cold.
God.
But then like eventually like 3 a.m. rolls around. I wake up. I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? But listen, we
Right.
we
Yeah.
good. We
Yes,
sobered up,
we're
and it was just
here.
like as long as I was in the gated area of my apartment, I was like, okay. Worst happens, my building manager's like, what the hell are you doing here?
Period.
And we love her,
Yes.
Kita.
Yes.
But you reminded me of a story. So a few weeks ago, I went out to Fogo de Chão, which is the Brazilian steakhouse with
Yes,
some
that's
friends, because my
boyfriend's
friend
favorite.
Naomi was like, last year for my birthday we went, and Naomi was like, I've been craving some of that Brazilian braised lamb, and I was like, okay,
It
let's
is
go.
so good.
And then my friends Naomi and Angel, I'm gonna say bullied, but also I am my own
Peer
individual. I can make
pressure.
my own decisions. I was like, I'm tapped out. I'm done.
Uh-huh.
And they were like, let's all get a dessert. And then so they order one for me. And I was like, no, I can't do dessert. And then I eat it. And I was like, so good. And I'm like, ugh.
Right.
And then I get home and I drive through the canyon. So I'm like going through all these bumps.
Ooh.
And then I get home and immediately vomit outside of my car, like out on the floor under my car.
Oh,
And I'm like,
no.
hey, listen, it's your body telling you what you need to do. But we survive, we rally. And like, all you can eat buffet, the night of, you regret it. But then the next day, you're like, okay, I'm ready to go again.
Yeah. I remember one time I threw up in my car. I have a lot of drunk stories. I won't get into all of them. But that one time, me and my friend were coming from a beach party. And she was driving me home because I couldn't drive. And I was trying to unlock the window so I could throw up, but I guess there was like some lock, or I don't know, or maybe I couldn't see it or I wasn't touching it well, and so I was like, I just threw up on the window and
Yeah.
it just
Ew.
Yeah.
I got one last, since we're talking about drunk throwing up, I've only blacked out one time. And then we should talk about some of the pop culture.
Yes, okay, enough vomit.
Yeah, but one story. So this is actually very relevant to Pride.
Mhm.
It was 2021.
Mhm.
It was still like kind of Zoom era. So we did a Zoom birthday party for at that time I would have been turning, does try to math in my head, 24. Yes, I think 24, 24. So I would have been turning 24. And I do a Zoom birthday, and my brother's the only one awake at this point in time. So I'm on Zoom hanging out with my friends, and I drink like 2/3 of a handle of Malibu or Bacardi,
Oh,
something
my
like that.
goodness.
Like too much,
Yeah.
way too much. The only time I've ever like blacked out, I somehow disappear from the Zoom call. I don't know what happens to the people. And then I remember coming out to my brother as by,
Oh, wow.
and then I was like crying. I was like, oh my God, you're gonna hit me. He's like, no, I love you. And then immediately after I come out, like I vomit into a cup. And he takes care of me, and I felt so bad.
Aw.
But my brother is amazing. I love him. He was the first person in my family to know, and I love him, and he's always been supportive. So shout out to him.
Period.
And he's a big SZA guy as well. So,
Ooh.
yeah. So, do you want to get into some of the pop culture? What do you want to start with? Movies or
Yes.
TV?
I want to start with the news that
Or
we
music.
got about goddamn Traitors.
Yes. So let's start with the Traitors cast. First, do you want to read the entire cast list, or do you want to read the standouts?
Yeah, let's.
Because I have my standouts, so I don't remember everyone on it. So we got Traitors, Season 3, they are officially in Scotland, and apparently tomorrow there's an FYC event at the Grove. This will probably be released after. I sent you the flyer.
Oh, yeah, you did. I'm sorry.
Quandel, remember what he said last episode? He smokes a lot of weed.
I did. Okay. So we have, because I think I know a good amount. I don't know the Bachelorette people.
Gabby, I don't know Gabby all that well. Is there another Bachelor? Wells, I do know Wells because I did watch in his era. Wells used to do puppet show reenactments in his confessionals because he was the bartender of Bachelor in Paradise, and he's like, and then Kristen is doing this, and then he has a puppet for her, and then he does, and then this guy was doing that, and like
I don't know.
He if he brings his puppets, he's probably most famous for being married to Sarah Hyland, star of Modern Family.
Okay.
And Geek Charming. We don't talk about the male lead in that movie, but I do have a podcast on Geek Charming in the backlog of the Brazilian Dragon feed if anyone wants to listen to that. But we love Sarah Hyland in this house.
Okay, so here are some of the names. We got Jeremy Collins.
Love that. Literally my second favorite Survivor winner. I think right now D is my third, but Sandra was on last year. I love Parvati. Jeremy is. We got Cerise, Sandra, and Jeremy, 3 of my top 5 Survivor players of all time on the Traitors. We just got to get Rob C and Abby Maria. I love Jeremy Collins. Like, he is amazing. Boston guy. I love his wife Val as well.
I don't think I've seen his
I will send you his season. See, you tell me what I need to watch. I'll tell you what you need to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
We got Boston Rob, of course.
Yes,
so another Boston guy.
Yeah, because Boston Rob is on... He's on another show.
He just finished up Deal or No Deal Island.
Deal or No Deal,
or as the kids
Did
like
he
to call
win
it,
that?
Dondi. No, so from what I understand, because I didn't watch Dondi, because there's a toxic lady named Kim Mattina on that, and she gaslit women, and I don't like her. So I was like, I'm not going to support, but I do love Boston Rob. Gotcha. So if anyone wants to send me the highlight reel, from what I understand, Boston Rob got 4th place, and the reason he lost was because he got disqualified from the competition because he looked over at someone's puzzle, and in Survivor you can do that. But then he got a penalty because he, like, standards and practice was like, no, you can't do that. I listened to his exit interview, even though I didn't watch the show.
Yeah.
But I'm a big Boston Rob guy. I know he's a very polarizing figure. I'm also a big Amber girly. Like, Amber is his wife that beat him in Survivor, and then he went back and won Survivor.
Yeah.
So I'm a big Amber guy. I think Amber's underrated as a player and as... Like, I loved her on Winners at War. Like, she was one of the most excited people. Like, her and Ethan, for me, were, like, the big standouts. Like, oh, my God, I can't believe Amber's playing Survivor again before the winter season.
Period. We got the next person.
We got Tony.
Yes.
Let's just stick with Survivors. We got Tony,
Yes.
Jeremy, Carolyn, and Boston Rob. Are you familiar with Tony or no?
I am kind of. I remember kind of being attracted to him.
Tony? Look him up. Look up a photo of Tony because I don't think he's your type.
No,
like the bald Tony, like cop. I mean, that's not tea because in Game Changers I did think he was kind of cute.
Like,
but
he
gives Jersey Shore.
I don't know.
No, he's very entertaining. I love him. I'm not rooting for him to win solely because he's a cop, but
oh yeah.
But I do like him as a personality. My prediction for Tony is he's gonna be Dan. He's gonna be like everyone's gonna be so excited for him, and then he's gonna like be an earlier boot than we want.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Carolyn. Are you familiar with Miss Carolyn?
No.
She was on just a year ago. She's the first New Era person. She wasn't on my radar. A lot of people were like, oh, let's get Carolyn. But to me, I want like the legends first. One of the legends that they can get first and then Carolyn. But like, I want to see Carolyn as a traitor because she's very emotional, but she also uses that to her advantage.
Okay.
So I feel like she's going to get very stressed out as a traitor. Like, selfishly, I want Carolyn as a traitor for good TV reasons. Mm-hmm. But I love a good player who weaponizes their emotions because she's like, I'm going to feel my feelings.
Right.
But then you all know this about me, so then you're not going to expect me to use it. That's how I feel about Vanessa from Big Brother also. I would love to see Vanessa on the Traitors.
I would love to see Vanessa
and then should we just pivot to the Big Brother people?
I think we forgot. You said Rob, right?
Boston Rob?
Yeah.
The Big Brother people, we got Brittany and Danielle.
I love both of them.
I love them both so much.
I love Danielle.
You know that Danielle don't like Brittany, right?
Why?
Did you watch Reindeer Games?
No.
No, so Brittany and Danielle were super tight, right, before Reindeer Games. And then from what I remember, there was this hamster wheel challenge in the 3rd episode. You gotta watch Reindeer Games because it was actually lit.
Okay,
like
I will,
Taylor
I will.
was a star, Xavier.
Yeah.
Xavier's so hot.
He is hot. I think he just got engaged.
He does have a girlfriend, yes. Taylor's so hot. Like Big Brother Reindeer Games, besides Cameron, like I don't like
Big Brother
Cameron.
usually casts hot people. That's
why hot and toxic.
That's
how
Big
I knew
Brother.
I was
gonna get it.
But Xavier's so hot, yeah. But anyway, so there was this challenge, and it was basically like, so Nicole Franzel won. What was it called? It was the first challenge. So Nicole Franzel was safe, And then her role was to pick the person going into elimination. Now, the elimination challenge was this hamster wheel puzzle where like you have to spin it around and it's like basically a table maze, but on a vertical hamster wheel. And the first person, everyone is potentially going to have to compete in it. But the first person to go gets 6 minutes. Then if they complete it, they get to pick the next person. And then that person gets 5 minutes. And then the next person gets 4 minutes. And then the next person gets 3 minutes. And then whoever doesn't complete is going to be eliminated. So, like, Nicole picks Frankie. Frankie picks Xavier. Xavier then picks Brittany. Now, at this point, Brittany survives it. And she has, like, 3 options left. I think it's Josh Martinez, Taylor, and Brittany Haynes. Or Danielle Reyes. And she and Danielle are tight, but she picks Danielle because I think she has an alliance. I forget the, like, dynamics. But then Danielle's been pissed about it since that. And she, like, holds it against Brittany. And she's been tweeting about how she can't forgive Brittany. But you know who else had beef before they went on Traitors? Sandra and Parvati. So and then Peppermint resolved that beef. So I'm like, I need someone, maybe Zac Efron's brother, to mend the fences of Brittany and Danielle because I can't have mothers hating mothers.
You know? Who is this man?
He's literally just Zac Efron's brother.
Oh, okay.
He was on like some docuseries that Zac Efron did, but yes, you love like, Danielle.
Out of all these people,
is Danielle your favorite Big Brother player of all time?
No, she's not. But I always liked her when she played with her dad.
No, that's a different Danielle.
That's a different Danielle.
Danielle Reyes was on season 3.
Let me look her up.
She is the first. She's the reason we have a sequestered jury.
Wait, she's the first? Isn't she like the first black?
She's the first black person to make it to the final 2. But she lost because everyone was watching the diary rooms that season. So they would go home and watch the episodes. So she was next to Lisa, who I love Lisa as well. But people were very salty because Danielle was like, no, you're a clown. She was like, she had this thing where she would count down. She was like, okay, 3 down, 9 to go. And she was very like villainous and like she said what was on her mind because that was her therapy session. So the jury held it against her. So she lost. She's very known as Rob. Davon, when she was on the block in All Stars, she shouted Danielle out. Like, she is a legend in Big Brother lore, and she is often called one of the best to never win.
Because this is one of the first few seasons, right?
Yes. Okay. Big Brother 3 is one of my favorites. Okay. I love Big Brother 3.
I haven't seen any of the earlier seasons.
Some of the stuff does not hold up well. Okay. But then other aspects of it, like, is incredible, like, television that we don't get today because everyone's so heightened about, like, what reality TV is. Yes. I highly recommend Big Brother 3. Even though it's old, it's still, like, a good time. It doesn't really, the pacing is good. It doesn't like ever dip. There is some stuff like the first week, there's a lot of like microaggressions about Marcellus, who's a phenomenal character. But I highly recommend Big Brother 3. Okay. That's for the girlies too. If you're listening to this or watching this, I highly recommend Big Brother 3.
Well, I'm glad that you're able to get those guys so I can get the housewives.
Yes, tell me about these housewives. Who's Dorinda? I've heard her name before.
Oh my gosh. So, ask me how I'm doing. Not well, bitch.
I have heard that.
Yes, I love Dorinda. Dorinda is allegedly.
Is she New Jersey, Atlanta,
she's in New York.
Miami?
She's Real Housewives of New York. She got fired because of her drinking problem. On pause. She's on pause. Do not say she's fired. Okay. Mama is
Well, you know who else was fired? Pause. Phaedra. And Phaedra was incredible television.
Well, Phaedra is not technically fired. Phaedra's on Married to Medicine. So, I mean, but on the time, I think she was like...
Well, she's a problematic Phaedra. Yeah, because I do know what she did. And I'm like, damn, but she's so entertaining.
She's so good. And same with Dorinda. Like, Dorinda got into... Oh, my gosh. If you love reality TV and you love, like, older women arguing with each other, you have to watch Real Housewives of Ultimate Girls Trip.
I do want a girls trip for the CBS stars. Like, I would love to see Sandra and Miss Felicia and Surreal on a girls trip.
I would love to see that. I would love to see a lot of the CBS girlies chilling. Yeah, they deserve it. But yeah, she was on there where it was like Ultimate Girls Trip 2, where she hosted it at her house at the Bluestone Manor, where she talks about her husband.
Is that in Pennsylvania?
No, that's in Massachusetts.
That's where I know it.
Yeah, the Berkshires.
God. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So she has it, and it was so funny because the way that she would argue with people, she's so aggressive. She's so aggressive, but she's so funny. She has her moments. She's really endearing. So I feel like, now, I think it was Phaedra or somebody, they said they were a little skimpy on the booze. So I don't know how, maybe she'll be calmer.
Except for Ekin-Su when she drank that poisoned wine.
Oh,
Lord,
right.
not Ekin-Su.
Ekin-Su.
I love Ekin-Su.
But we're definitely gonna get a Dorinda blow up moment. She's definitely gonna go off on somebody, and I'm just so
I'm here
fucking
for it.
excited.
Speaking of, do you remember the rumors that Pilot Peter and Ekin-Su were a thing? I'm like, can I join?
Right.
Talk about two sexy people.
Wasn't he with somebody?
Not at the time, but like they were like flirty apparently, and then they asked at the reunion.
I thought they were a cute couple.
I don't know if they're official or not, but I'm like, Peter, Ekin-Su, let me into this.
Are they on like each other's IG and stuff?
Probably. I don't know. I don't know if it's official. Anyways, who else on the Housewives do I need to be educated on?
Gosh. So we have our next people. Actually, I'm going to be very unbiased with the next people. So we have Robin Dixon. Now,
is she from Summer House?
She's from Potomac.
Potomac, sorry.
She's from Real
Is
Housewives
she the one that's
Potomac.
boring, supposedly?
Yeah. I mean, you know, people, look, Robin has her fans, the La Robins and stuff like that. And, but she is known for being a little quieter. But
so one of my friends said she's giving Sheree of the season.
Maybe less.
Ooh.
Maybe.
And I liked Sheree, but I was like, where are you at?
Sheree is very ditzy, but she's entertaining. Mm-hmm. Robin is Robin.
Okay.
You know, Robin's there. She's a regular girl from TJ Maxx, you know.
You know who else is? Sandra. Sandra's a big couponer.
But Sandra is a game player.
No,
and
for
maybe,
sure.
And maybe we might see that with Robin.
Okay.
Maybe we might see a game player because she's a smart girl. So maybe we might see a more strategic side come from her, and maybe she'll shine as a game player.
And then who's the one from Dubai?
Chanel Ayan. I love Chanel.
What's the tea on her?
Chanel is a model. Chanel is one of the breakout stars from Real Housewives of Dubai. She is very loud. She's very charismatic. She loves to argue as well.
Okay.
And sometimes because of her language barrier, she will just kind of argue. So there will probably be a lot of arguments due to misunderstandings. And she goes for it. She really goes for it. And, you know, a lot of people loved Phaedra for her fashion. Be prepared to gag.
I'm so curious to see, especially like some of these Survivor people and Big Brother people. Like Big Brother people just lounge around in their sweats.
Yes.
And then Survivor people are in their bathing suits or in their underwear. I'm like, I want to see how you like dress up. Like, like I want to see you cleaned up and like dressed for a Scottish party, like a Scottish castle party. But we haven't talked about someone who I am very excited about yet. Ooh. Bob the drag queen.
Oh, wait, hold on. Before let me just finish out the Housewives with Dolores Catania.
Oh, I forgot about Dolores.
Dolores Catania, also another one that's kind of chill, but Dolores, I will say, has a little bit more of a spark than Robin. Okay. She has definitely more moments. If you want to get a good feel of Dolores, think of Mob Wives. But not like, fighting Mob Wives.
For me, like I think of what's the girl who was dated from last season? Larsa. Is she very Larsa coded? No.
She's
because she gave like mob boss wife.
Yeah, but like she's dating the head of the mob.
Okay.
Yeah, like she, you know, we're definitely gonna hear a lot of "you're a rat" and stuff like I'm very excited.
Giudice?
Yes, very, very that, and I'm not gonna snitch and all that stuff. Yeah.
I have a question about Housewives. Mm-hmm. Who's the lady who threw her prosthetic leg on the table?
Aviva.
Can we get her on the Traitors? Yes, or was that her only moment?
She got fired after that season.
Okay.
But Aviva is so unhinged. She would be great on any show. Okay. Because she's so unhinged.
Well, we are in the era of reality TV stars getting more coins.
Yeah, like, and there's
because your girl Devon is on the go, which I have not even started. I need to watch it. I do know who got eliminated last episode.
Yes.
But like talk on the go a little bit.
Hold on.
Let's go back to Bob.
Let's finish off with Traitors. Bob the drag queen. Oh,
and I have optimism for Bob because after what happened to Peppermint, I think people would be a little bit like more hesitant to like go after Bob immediately. I don't think
so. I think they're gonna underestimate him.
No, I think they are gonna underestimate Bob, but I think they're not gonna like be like, oh, we have to. I think people are gonna be a little hesitant because I don't think they want to be seen the way that they saw what happened with Trishelle and Peppermint, and I was like, I don't know, maybe that's my naive optimism.
I feel like once Bob gets started. And I don't know if you've ever seen Bob get started.
Oh man, Bob's one of my all-time favorite queens. Yeah. Like I listen to Bob and Monet regularly.
Oh yeah. So you know. But yeah, once I'm so excited for somebody to underestimate Bob and for him to eat them alive. I know it's gonna happen.
I want a Bob and Jeremy and Brittany and Danielle alliance, but Honestly,
Yes.
I kind of think it's a missed opportunity to not have Bob and Monet, because Bob would throw Monet under the bus. Monet would throw Bob under the bus. I feel like it would be messy, and I feel like it would be good TV.
Yeah, I think they're definitely underestimating the popularity of Drag Race as well.
I think Monet is going to be on season 4 at this point. Then, they had Peppermint, then they went to Bob, then they went to Monet, and then probably season 5 they'll start going to like Trixie and Katya.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they'll start. Like I feel like I hope we got more than one a season though. I feel like
that's why I'm saying I feel like they're underestimating them, because I'm like, we got multiple Housewives. Housewives does good in numbers. Survivor and Big Brother, they all do good in numbers.
I'm surprised there's never been an Amazing Race person yet. And I want Charlotte and Myrna to play together. I don't know if you've ever watched Charlotte and Myrna's season, but they are cracked queens.
I mean, but compared, like when you think of all the competitive shows, I don't think they.
I do think there should be an Amazing Race crossover at some point, because I think there's such good
there
fodder. Who is anyone else?
Oh,
stand
and
out
then
for you?
We have. I feel like there's another person.
You can go back to the list. No challenge people.
Trishelle.
No, Chrishell.
Yes.
And she's a big Brother girly, I found out.
Is she?
Yeah, so she loves Britney. And she is very pro Britney Spears. So Britney Spears' ex-husband is going to be on this.
Oh, yes. That's another person. Okay, what do you think about that? I was kind of gassed.
I think he just wants a gig. He's not even... He and Tom Sandoval together, they just said, okay, Trash
Tom
Man.
Is also on there,
I hope Tom Sandoval gets Johnny Bananas out of there.
I never liked Tom. Did you watch Vanderpump Rules?
No, but I hate him because he's a scumbag.
And then we have 2 other people.
Zac Efron's brother and the Lord.
Wait, no, Lord, and then we have
he's a gay.
The Summer House Sierra Miller.
I don't know her. I don't know her. I think people wanted Lauren, is what I understand. I think is the name of the person people wanted from Summer House. I thought Kyle was whatever on the first season of Traitors. Kyle was also a Summer House guy.
Oh yeah. I never got into that.
I didn't get into the houses. Yeah. Apparently, the Martha's Vineyard one is.
I love
good.
Martha's Vineyard.
But
have you ever been?
I have not, no.
It's
but
beautiful.
There's a summer house featuring all like black, like elite, Ivy League people called Summer House Martha's Vineyard, and it's a full black cast. So I've heard good things about that season.
And it got canceled.
Oh,
yeah. You know how they do black shows.
Like All American Homecoming.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Hey, but All American did get renewed. At least.
Yes.
So do you want to talk about the GOAT? Or
yes,
I haven't seen anything. I don't even know what. So what's the format? I'm so behind on TV. I feel.
Go ahead. No, go
ahead.
I
just feel like there's so much TV that I'm always feeling like I'm behind on something. And then I'm like, I'll just binge this later. So tell me about the GOAT. What's the format?
Okay. So it's very interesting because I feel like all of these shows are trying to be traitors. I don't know. Like, are they trying to follow? They saw what it did and they're trying to get that. I feel like this is probably one of the lower levels of the celebrity kind of game shows. Even though they have such a good cast.
Mm-hmm. Like I know Wendell and Devon and Joe, Grocery Store Joe were like all people that I knew of.
And then you have Tech from
Tech. Oh my God, Tech
Real
is so
Housewives.
funny.
Yeah.
No, not
Real Housewives, Real World.
Real World Hawaii. And he's been great on the Challenge All Stars. I haven't seen any of this season of the All Stars. But the first 2 seasons, Tech was phenomenal.
Yeah, he was good. He was good on the show.
Yeah.
We all, of course, have Alyssa Edwards. Yes, honestly, they need to have her on a different show.
She should go on the Traitors.
She should definitely go on the definitely Traitors. Or did you watch House of Villains?
I hate Johnny Fairplay. I can't.
Okay.
No,
that's fair.
I was curious about it, but I feel like House of Villains is just a little touch too unlikable for me. Like I like a good reality TV villain,
that's fair.
But I like a villain who's like a villain on TV and then goes home and like is like a normal person. I don't like people who are like, oh, I'm a like you know they're gonna have Russell Hantz on that one. Like they're gonna have Evil Dick on that. I don't like shitty people. Like I don't like watching shitty people.
That's fair.
I like watching people who play hard and like are willing to do whatever to win $1 million.
Yeah.
But then like go home and like are chill people. Like I don't like people who are like get off on being horrible people. And I don't know, Fairplay, Jax Taylor, those people like. And like, listen, I have seen the clip of Omarosa and Tiffany New York Pollard.
Yes.
I have seen the important clips, but I don't know.
But
House of Villains is too. You go off. Like, you enjoy whatever makes you happy. For me, it just gives me a little bit too much ick.
Yeah, I feel like, they could definitely do a little bit more of equaling it out. Because I feel like they tried to have New York and Tamisha and some of the other people.
It's also just Big Brother with a different format.
Yeah.
It's literally Big Brother. I don't know how they didn't get sued.
Yeah. Because a lot, I mean, I'm sure there's some type of legal thing because a lot of these competition shows are kind of a ripoff of another reality show. But anyways, back to the GOAT. The GOAT is
and you are the GOAT, just so you know.
You are the GOAT. I'm trying to think. So they, you know, it's also kind of like Big Brother too. They have challenges. They have like a head of household that can vote people out, and the house votes and stuff like that. I want to say, honestly, I've been very interested with the way Devon has been playing the game. Because Devon, as we know, we all love Devon, but Devon plays very hard.
My thing about Devon, and listen, I'm a big Devon fan, incredible personality, and she has incredible reads. She is so astute. But Devon sometimes do too much. And listen, I can relate because I feel like I would do too much. But Devon be having too many hands in the different cookie jars, and then she gets caught, and then she can't backpedal. Like no, she's not patient, and I get that because I am very impatient. But we love Devon because that is who she is.
Yeah.
But Devon always jumps too early, and I would love to see Devon on Big Brother again, especially with the diversity initiative. I feel like she would do better. But I also think Devon is one of those people that unfortunately could never win Big Brother.
No. Because I feel like at a certain point, she plays good, and even though she plays hard, she's still able to play a really good game. But I think at a certain point, because she plays too hard, she kind of burns out, and the house feels it, and then they kind of end up flipping on her.
You know, Devon almost was on Survivor one time.
Really?
Yeah, she was.
She wouldn't have won.
She was supposed to be on Millennials versus Gen X, which was season 33. My assumption is back at the time when they only had like one or two black people on reality on each season. She was probably in the Michaela spot. Michaela Bradshaw, who has done multiple seasons of Survivor. She played with Sari. She was on The Challenge a couple times. Like, we love Michaela in this house. So I'm glad we got Michaela. And then Devon did Big Brother 18 after that, because that was right after Big Brother 17. They were like, Devon, we want to put you on TV again. But she like had bags packed, ready to go, and they're like, we're going in a different direction. And then she did Big Brother 18 with Nicole, and who else was on that? Zakiya and Pauly and all that. That was a messy season. That's a really good season. I think at the time people hated it, but I think it's such good season because it like had such fluidity. Like we had the Pauly like top of the, and then he got cut. Like, and it was like so messy. Kind of has a little bit too much misogyny in a 2024 landscape but so many quotes, like Devon, like when they got into the jury house fight, and she's like, Zakiya, this is the one you lay with? Like that, like when you need security guards to come break out a jury house fight, you know it's good television.
Yeah.
Devon for the Traitors.
Ooh.
Because that's a show that she can be messy and call people out and still survive.
And I think actually the Traitors might be better for her because I feel like Traitors more than any show have a good mix of reality people. They would probably get more of her hot temper,
and she's like kind of fits into like the Sandra mold where she can like kiki with the housewives, but she can also be with the game players. And I appreciate that about Devon. I think Devon is like someone on my short list now that they've gotten like Danielle and Brittany and Janelle and like Dan, the big names. Like it's Dr. Will, I think, is like the biggest name that I'm so happy Derek's not on this season. Derek was heavily rumored to be on. And he's not. And like, I mean, I get it, you might want Derek on there, but I personally am fine not with Derek. We already had Cody. That's close enough. I have a TV show I wanted to bring to your attention.
Okay, yeah.
Glee. We celebrated the 15-year anniversary of Glee's pilot. Were you a Gleek?
Yes. So, so back when it was like all on cable, I didn't start from season 1 just because it was so hard to. So I kind of just started around the Quinn Fabray coming in.
Okay. Well, like when she got pregnant?
No, like when she kind of was more of a main character.
I mean, she was always a main character.
Okay.
Quinn Fabray?
Maybe not.
You
maybe when Santana and Brittany became a little more serious.
Okay, that's what Quinn was always a main character, but Santana and Brittany were like more late season 1, early season 2.
Yeah.
Like I mean, Santana Lopez.
Naira Rivera,
R.I.P. Queen.
My
queen. We love her. Like
I love
one
her
of the
voice.
Most heartbreaking talents that we've lost. For me, like she is incredible. Like nothing but respect for her. I love Naira Rivera, and Santana Lopez was like one of the first foundational like LGBT characters for me to identify with, because it's like, oh, she's Latina and she's not straight, and I'm like figuring out what I am, and like incredible representation for young middle school me. But I just wanted to shout that out on this episode of Cultural FAQs, because Glee is culture.
It really is.
You had to be there. I feel like,
love it.
Yeah, and the music hits. Like, the music is so good.
Yeah.
Like, some of the originals, some of the like Glee samplings are better than the originals. Like Smooth Criminal.
Yes.
That is
that
bisexual
porn.
By Panic was made in that movie, in that like scene.
I know the tension that they had, and they both had same-sex partners was crazy.
Well, I think that I feel like most interpretations are like, oh, they are both kind of bi on a 2024 sphere, and there's like so much sexual tension, but they also hate each other. They're like, Sebastian's toxic as hell. So but Grant Gustin can get it. Any other TV shows you want to hit on? I have two more that I would love to touch on, but you go first.
So we are Lady Parts.
Yes, you said that before we started. Like, you're into that.
I'm very obsessed with it. As a screenwriter who wants to write write for obscure POC shows that highlight many different facets of POC people and queer people and queer identity and stuff like that. I feel like this show really does a good job of it.
Queer?
Oh yeah, this is my coming out story.
Love it. Yes.
But I think it does a really good job of that. I think also, I don't know if they do this intentionally, but I feel like they play with tropes. Like, I feel like there was this one time where it was going to go into like, oh, can you date her so she can do what we need her to do for us? And they're like, no, we're not going to do that because that's a horrible thing to do to somebody. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yes, call that stuff out. And like, if you're going to use a trope, that's a clever way to use a trope. I love the music. Bashir with the good beard. Listen to it. If you like rock, like, it's such a good song. And I think all the characters are so meaty, and there are different aspects of the Muslim culture. It's just a really freaking good show. You need to watch it.
I'm adding it to my list.
Yeah, you need to watch. I watched all 2 seasons.
Love it.
Yeah.
Another show I want to shout out is Big Brother Canada. Big Brother Canada finished its 12th season. We got our Canadian Paul. If you remember, Paul lost both of his seasons in the final 2. They lost their seasons back to back. Anthony on Big Brother Canada, incredible strategist, incredible player. Went like 132 days without being nominated, and lost in the final 2 to an incredible player in her own right, Bailey, as well. I love Bailey.
Bailey. I love
not that Bailey. Oh, it's a Canadian Bailey.
You always know.
But my thing is, I wanted to shout Big Brother Canada out because Big Brother Canada has incredible production design. I think the comps are far more visually and interesting to watch on TV. The casting is superb, and I think better than BBUS. But they just announced, and it's not official yet because I haven't seen Arista post it. And Arissa is mother, star of Camp Rock 2, The Final Jam, Arissa Cox. But she's the host of Big Brother Canada, and she's an executive producer. And she's the reason that all these shows now have 50% BIPOC representation, because she was the first one to announce it for Big Brother Canada. Yeah. And then CBS later followed suit with American reality television for the big 3, or any actually reality show on CBS. But I consider the big 3: Amazing Race, Big Brother, Survivor.
Honestly, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just want to give a shout out to Canadian and British productions for always giving like some type of spotlight. I don't know exactly how it is over there, so if it's not as good as I think it is,
but it was always better than the U.S. ones. At least Big Brother Canada was a little more diverse.
I mean, but even with shows, like the show that I was telling, We Are Lady Parts, is a British show.
Yeah.
Sex Education
is British.
All these great shows where we see stories that we would have not normally seen.
I went on a date with this British guy a couple of nights ago, and he was so much nicer. Like he is just so much less toxic than like the American people I've gone on dates with. And I was just like, and the 2 of the best dates I've ever gone on was that one on Wednesday, and a guy I went on a date with who was Australian. I was like, you just have so much more emotional intelligence. You have more emotional intelligence than a lot of these Americans that are your same age. And it's just like, I don't know, there's something over there that's like culturally, like they're just kind of, it's probably like the lack of capitalism. I mean, it's affecting them, of course. Yeah. But it's like they have free healthcare. They don't have to worry about all this stuff. And I feel like, there's stuff happening in other cultures. America is just too toxic, I think. I don't
What
know.
accent was hotter?
I think they were both hot.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Fair. I like a British accent.
I like an Australian
I love
accent,
an
though.
Australian accent.
I think
too.
maybe it's because I watch more Australian television than British television. I'm more attuned to an Australian one, and just it's more comforting because I'm more familiar with it.
Yeah.
But they were both very attractive.
Ooh. Okay.
So I wanted to shout out Big Brother Canada because they did announce that they might be going on hiatus, which last time it got saved. But I'm just like, Big Brother Canada deserves, and I feel so bad for the crew.
Viewers?
Yeah, I think, and people were like blaming the lack of live feeds because 2 years ago they were like, okay, we can't do live feed anymore. And to me, that just signals, production is hurting for money. What's the easiest thing to cost? Labor. Cut costs in labor. So we don't need to hire people to have the live feeds monitoring, so we can cut those jobs and we can just edit the episodes anyways. And the fans were like, I'm not going to watch the show anymore because there's no live feeds. Well, I was like, then you're not a real fan because you would support the crew that puts it together. You would support the super fans who dream about playing. You wouldn't be rooting for the show to get canceled because they don't have live feeds. I would rather a show have no live feeds and have edited episodes, and we don't get the full story, and people get to continue having jobs and having their dreams fulfilled by playing on these shows, than like a season with live feeds. And I get, like, I want the live feeds to exist as well. I'm not saying we shouldn't have live feeds. But if you're going to have the show at all, I would rather have a different version of it than what we're used to than to like have nothing at all. And there were people like, well, if there's no live feeds, then we shouldn't have the show. Like, that's so unfair to the people who work on it. And I don't know. That was my biggest complaint about Twitter. Hopefully change.org can save it because it's been brought back from the dead. Season 5 was supposed to be the last season. And then there was a fan campaign and we got 7 more seasons out of it. 6, 7, 8 kind of weird because COVID shut it down.
Oh, God.
6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. We got 6 seasons of it. 11 was hit or miss. But,
Okay.
11 is not my jam, but I think it was a fun season. It was just probably one of my lesser seasons. 12 was phenomenal. 12 was top tier Big Brother. Okay. I think I was telling you, I was like, you gotta get in. I think I was trying to convert you into a fan, and then we both got busy. But I just wanted to give Big Brother Canada some love this week because hopefully we can bring it back. I love Big Brother Canada. They put so much heart into it, and like it's different. It's like creatively ambitious in a way that Big Brother US is kind of. They try things, but if you look at photos of the Big Brother Canada house versus the Big Brother US house, night and day. Big Brother Canada eats us up.
Yeah.
And the casting is usually better as well, like more diversity. More interesting stories. The comps are so unique sometimes, and just like
I mean, I think that's just because American casting just kind of goes off of a very conventionally attractive.
A lot more queer and people of color stories also as well. And US is getting better now that they have the initiative. But still not a ton of like queer representation. I feel like, which BB Can has always had. Like the winner, Bailey, she's a queer woman and like is also at 34 the oldest house guest to ever win, which is like, oh damn.
Actually, you know what's crazy? I always root for older people.
And
Big Brother.
Anthony is 36 as well, so it would have been like probably the oldest final 2 in North American Big Brother history, probably in a long time. I love Felicia. Hopefully will have like Hisam and Felicia and Sari. I think will hopefully have us having a couple more older house guests. Like I love Rennie from Big Brother 10. Anything else you want to talk about TV? Like, are you watching Drag Race?
Yes. But before Drag Race, I want to talk about this show called Veneno. It's about
Is it Spanish?
Yeah, but they dubbed it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's about this entertainer by the name of La Veneno. She was a trans lady of the night, and then she became a personality. I'm on the first few episodes, but I'm hooked. It's, I think I know it's South African, but I don't.
You watch, this was in our document that we had. You said like the best queer and people of color stories are from non-American perspectives, and that's the only time we get representation.
Exactly.
And speak on that.
Yeah, I watch these shows because I look for different type of stories. Because that's what I like. That's, I'm a Black queer screenwriter, so I like a different type of stories, not crazy, but just stories that I can identify with, as anybody does. And I just haven't found those stories, but if I do find anything similar, it's most likely not American. And if it is American, it's getting canceled after the first season. The only thing I've had was like Pose. I can't even have my queer animation. I had Q-Force.
You had X-Men 97.
Yes, that is true. But like, have you ever seen Q-Force on Netflix?
I think is that the one with Shangela and Trixie?
No. That's another one. But Q-Force
is that the one with Matt Rogers writing it?
I think so.
Okay,
I think so.
I think I might have seen an episode.
I think because actually the voice sounds like Matt Rogers. It could be Matt Rogers. But it is super funny if you like things like Dinkleberry, Family Guy, American Dad, and stuff like that, and you know you like queer TV shows. Watch Q-Force. It is amazing. I want it to be brought back because it's such a great show and it's so funny and irreverent and all the good things. But it was during COVID, so it got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's very few in between that we get these shows. But like we were talking about Sex Education, We Are Lady Parts on multiple seasons. All these shows are on multiple seasons. So not only can we watch it, but we can also sink our teeth into it. And it was something that I realized, and it's kind of disheartening because, like I said, aspiring screenwriter. So it's just like, how am I going to get these stories or these stories that I want out there?
I think we need to move to the UK.
Maybe that's what it is, you know?
Yeah, no, I have a big international bug in me. I want to travel.
Same.
I feel like working in Brazil is a possibility for me. And like, I would love to like do industry stuff with like American content, but also in international markets as well. And I feel like I would love to learn more about the global industry. I feel like we don't talk about it enough in film school.
No.
Or even like in society as a whole. I feel like there's a whole globe of stories. People are very like picky about like, oh, I don't want to watch anything that has subtitles. But K-dramas are popping off.
Right.
Squid Game was phenomenal.
Yeah.
One of my all-time favorite movies is a Brazilian movie called Central Station. It is so good. It was so good that the main actress was nominated for Best Actress in 1997 for the Oscars against like four U.S. bigs. Like she was nominated. It's that good. So I highly recommend Central Station to everyone. But speaking on animation, do you want to move into like the Pixar conversation that we were texting about Inside Out? Since I do have some movies to talk about. Inside Out comes out in a week. I'm cautiously optimistic about it. I like Inside Out.
I'm very much. I think it's gonna be a banger.
Okay, I got burned by Lightyear. This
is not gonna be like Lightyear.
I was so emotionally invested in Lightyear because Toy Story was my childhood. Like Toy Story 1 and 2, I would watch on loop. Like those were my friends. Like Woody and Buzz were my friends. And I think Lightyear would have been better if it was completely disconnected from the Toy Story universe and it was just about a space ranger. It was like I think I would have had less heartbreak of like how it flopping. Like I was like, this did not need to be a story at all. Like I feel like it could have been just like, and the director said that he just wanted to make a space movie. I'm like, you don't have to make it Buzz Lightyear related.
That's right.
You could have just made it a movie without any Toy Story connection. I think we would all have been there for you.
Yeah, but it's Disney. You know, they probably said,
they love
no,
IP.
We gotta make it. Let's make it Buzz.
Yeah, but Inside Out 2, the voice cast is pretty good. We don't have Mindy or Bale Hader, but we got Ayo. I love.
Wait, he's not coming back?
No, it's Tony Hale who's voicing Fear. Well, so from what I understand, they didn't want to pay the voice cast the same amount or what they were asking for or whatever. But I don't know if it was they wanted the same amount as Amy Poehler or they just wanted like more money. I don't know the details. I do know that there was like money negotiations. Yeah. That's why they didn't return. But like respectfully, at least if we're going off the first Inside Out script, Amy Poehler and Phyllis were doing a lot more acting and work than Bill Hader and Louis Black and Mindy Kaling.
Right.
Do you know Mindy Kaling's real name is Vera?
Really?
Yeah.
Is that her middle name, Mindy?
No, I guess so, yeah. But I will be seeing Inside Out too. Like, it's not that I'm not going to go. I'm just like, I don't want to be disappointed.
Excited.
I am ready to be emotionally wrecked because the first one emotionally wrecked me.
Yeah.
And I loved all the memes that's like anxiety. I have like 10 of these in my brain.
Right. Like, when I went to film school and they asked me what one of my favorite movies were, I said it was Inside Out.
That's a great choice.
I love Inside Out. It's amazing.
Top tier Pixar.
Like that and Wolverine and Daredevil. I'm just so excited.
Yeah, Disney's keeping us fed with movies this summer. Like I will say, Deadpool and Wolverine comes out on the day before my birthday. So I'm seeing it 2 days before my birthday. Yeah, so I'm very excited. It was supposed to be Thunderbolts, which I was very excited about because I love Florence Pugh.
Yeah,
Elena Belova is one of my favorite Marvel characters. It's my first time in New York.
What are they doing with that?
I think it got pushed to next year. Hey, as long as we get a Yelena
right.
Belova
As
movie.
long as we get it.
So also speaking of movies, did you watch any good movies this last month? I know you're a Stubbs member
Furiosa.
as well. I have not seen it. Tell me, was it good?
Furiosa's really good.
I've never seen a Mad Max. I need to. I'm
really?
a hater. I'm a hater. Not a hater. I'm just uncultured. Do I need to have watched Fury Road before watching Furiosa, or will I just be able to enjoy regardless?
Yeah, you were able to enjoy regardless. I would say watch it in the movie theaters though. That's
my goal. I want to watch that in Garfield before they leave theaters.
Yeah, I was telling you about this later. It's hard for me to escape my second screen if I'm not at the movies.
Agreed. Yeah.
So I and I wouldn't have been able to enjoy Furiosa at home. It's just
and it's also made for a theater.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how, because they probably have IMAX or Dolby screenings, and it's made with the intention of being in a movie theater. That's the one reason I saw Dune in theaters, but Dune kind of bored me.
Yeah, fair.
Dune 2 also kind of bored me.
Oh, I haven't seen Dune 2. I want to see Dune 2.
You watch it. You support it. Yes.
Okay, so the reason why I haven't seen it is because when it was coming out, I was really busy, and then when it was on HBO Max, I'm like, this is a movie that you see at theaters. Yes. I can't enjoy it at home.
I want us to start making friends with rich people who have home movies and have movie nights.
Okay. Oh my gosh, that'd be so great.
Apparently John Stamos has a movie theater at his house. And I'm like, how do we become friends with Uncle Jesse?
Right, okay.
Honestly, I think I have an idea. But this is for... Did you see The Fall Guy?
I seen the beginning, and the only reason why I didn't finish, not because I didn't like
second screen.
Yeah.
So my experience with The Fall Guy, I went out Saturday night by myself, took myself to the movies, and my thing with The Fall Guy is I think movies need to be shorter. I had a great time with The Fall Guy. I thought the stunts were incredible. I thought the needle drops were phenomenal. Against All Odds by Phil Collins, one of the best songs ever written of all time, and deserves more awards than it's gotten. And they use it so well in that movie. The stunts were incredible. Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt have incredible chemistry. Winston Duke can push me against the wall.
Oh, he's in there too?
He's so hot.
Okay, I gotta watch it now.
But, that whole cast is hot. But my issue is, I think the movie could have been shaved down. I think we could have trickled a little bit less exposition. It did not need to be an hour long. It felt like the first act was an hour long. And I thought it was not well paced the first hour. The second hour really picked up. So I think if we shaved it down a little bit, it would have been even better. But the whole message of the movie was give stunt actors our due.
Yeah.
And I hope the Academy needs to.
Are they doing it?
They should. Following through? I heard rumors that they were, and then today on Twitter I was like, "Oh, the Academy is considering." I was like, "Considering? They need to have an Academy Award."
Because why
yesterday. But incredible needle drops, and between that and If, the soundtracks of these movies lately have been fire. Challengers also.
Okay, so If is a good movie.
If I think I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. We need to bring back decorum into movie theaters, because that was my biggest issue with If. Because I went, granted, it was on me. I went at a Saturday 4 p.m. showing for a kids movie. And the children were actually better behaved than the adults. There was this lady across the aisle snoring the whole movie. I almost wanted to throw a shoe at her. And then someone else had their phone going off the entire movie. People have no decorum in social settings, period, anymore. Yeah. The guests at work have been getting a lot ruder over the years. I'm like, did we just lose respect during the pandemic? Because I'm not about this lifestyle. We need to bring back social commonalities and kindness.
Yeah.
People have no respect in social gatherings anymore. But I thought If itself, again, I think I had some issues with the pacings. But I thought the story was great. I thought I got emotional. It made me think about my inner child and did you have an imaginary friend growing up? Because I had stuffed animals that I talked to, but I didn't have an imaginary friend, which is what If stands for. But I thought the heart of the movie was great. I thought some of the musical numbers. I thought Ryan Reynolds was kind of phoning it in a little bit, and he lacked a little charisma and it was a little stiff. But otherwise, I thought I had a good time. I don't regret seeing it. I'm glad I saw it because I wanted to see it. I want to see it. I'm a big I love a good family film. Lyle Lyle Crocodile made me cry.
I need to. The reason why I haven't seen that is because I'm planning on seeing it with my mom, because that's one of the first books I remember my mom reading.
Yes. The music of that movie is really good.
Really?
Shawn Mendes can sing. Speaking of movies, did you see that there's an upcoming Hunger Games book coming out next year and a movie version about it in 2026? About Haymitch.
So are we picking up from Songbird? Or
No.
Okay,
It's the
good.
50th. Which I actually, if they're gonna keep making Hunger Games, I'd rather like hear these different stories of different time periods.
Yes,
I like
actually, I
seeing
love
the
that
evolution.
too.
And
Yeah.
I
Like
saw on Twitter,
Purge.
someone was like, "Listen, Stephanie, not Stephanie Meyer, Suzanne Collins only writes a book when she has something to say.
Mm-hmm.
She has something to say about these children dying
Yeah.
for political consumption."
Yeah,
and I'm like, yes, she has something to say. I think we all know what she's referring to in this analog. But who would you want to see play young Haymitch? Do you have any, like Woody Harrelson's character? I saw someone post a photo of the baby that looks like...
You go first.
I mean, first of all, I think what happened to half the cast of 13 Reasons Why?
Okay. I know. I feel like they were in a lot of stuff and then they just weren't.
Where's Hannah Baker at?
Yeah.
Where is Alicia Bowe? She's also very beautiful. Brandon Flynn, who played Justin. I'm like, where did he go? Like,
he was in so much stuff.
I think he would be an interesting Haymitch. I also hope they make Haymitch queer. That's like, make him a little bisexual.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we need some more. Maybe it doesn't have to be him, but give us some queer characters in this Hunger Games.
Yeah.
I also love Rachel Ziegler. Not that this is relevant other than the fact that she's in it, but I'm obsessed with her. She's one of my favorite Twitter follows. She's an incredible singer. I love the soundtrack of A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. That made me like, oh, I like bluegrass. Do you have beef with Rachel Ziegler?
No, it's not that. It was just, I don't know. I felt like the music in the beginning of the movie was very like slave tuney.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. So I wasn't crazy. I tried to make that into a joke. Nobody laughed. But
it's a podcast, Quandel. It's not an open mic.
No. I'm
mics,
talking about I did it at a open mic.
I bombed the other day. I had a great talent show performance at work. And
okay.
I bombed at the QT mic the other day. I got 2 laughs. I was like, oof. I was also bombing as co-host because I was so nervous I kept fucking up. But well, that's a story for a different day.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it was bluegrass, which also has roots in like songs like that. So I feel like they're all kind of connected in that.
So yeah, I was just very shocked by that. I was just like, okay, I get it. But it sounds weird.
It does. Yeah. I should have probably considered that before I said that.
No. It's fine. I know a lot of people like it, but it was just like, it was not a bad thing. I was just like, oh, that's a choice.
Yeah. I mean, intentional maybe or no? Do you think? Because
possibly,
they are under.
I
think there's like an overarching arc and theme about. I don't know. I need to ponder.
I definitely think it could have been.
Let me sit on this and like think about it. But I think we are starting to wind things down. We only have about 10 more minutes. Okay, but I do want to ask you, any summer, like what Hot Boy Summer's around the corner. What do you think? What's your feeling about summer? How do you want to spend your summer? Okay. And also maybe your pride as well. Since like let's timestamp this. We're about to kick off summer. What do we hope from our summers this year?
Yes. Okay. So I definitely want to be performing a lot during the summer.
As Lauren Ross, as Quandel.
As everything. I definitely want to start doing
I need to
shows.
see one of your shows.
And I definitely am starting to putting myself out there. I'm working with a friend and we're doing more movement stuff and we're working on like actually doing a whole little routine.
Yeah.
So it's a little more cleaner, when I perform. So that's why I haven't been like just doing gigs, because I just want to like be, I know I'm not going to be perfect, but I don't want to always just wing it, So, doing that. And I feel like I'm definitely ready to start doing shows and comedy. So I definitely want to get back out there. And so I hope to be doing more shows with that. I hope my short is finally going to be on the path to being made, and hopefully finish by the end of the summer. That'd be great. I'm hoping to be on a beach and half naked all the time.
Let's go.
Definitely having good vibes.
Would you be down to do a weekend trip to Palm Springs with me?
Yeah.
I want to go with some girlies and like go to Palm Springs, and like I've never been, and I feel like summertime. We gotta go.
I'm down.
Let's just not get trapped in a time loop.
Right. Period. Okay. I always wanted to go to Palm Springs, and it looks so nice. And but it's like you can't just go by yourself. You have to go with friends.
Yeah. Let's get a crew together.
Yeah.
And go.
I'm down.
Yeah.
What about you?
For me, I want to really revamp my website. Like that's a personal goal of mine. I want to work on building out my business plan to create my independent production company, and like get all this stuff under the umbrella. I want to streamline my website, like I said. I want to finish this Big Brother essay that I started about Big Brother 1 because I recently had it on in the background when I was doing work. And I was like, oh, I was fascinated by like, I was compelled to write about it. I've had Big Brother 2 on now in the background, and I'm not as compelled to write about Big Brother 2 as I am Big Brother 1. It's fascinating just because it's so different. So I have most of the essay written. I need to finalize that. Again, start working on that Substack, start working on that Patreon. Like, I want to like start getting paid for our craft.
Yes.
Because we're talented and we deserve to get paid. Because also it's not a cheap labor, what we're doing. So I want to like invest in us and invest in me. I want to explore, like, this is my first Pride completely out, and I want to like explore like my sexuality a little bit more. I started listening to
sex parties.
I started listening to this podcast. I'm gonna shout them out too. Bye, guys. And they started talking about like these masturbation parties, and I was like,
oh,
maybe. I don't know. Like let me explore
what's
myself.
wrong with that?
Yeah, what's wrong?
Know?
Everyone does it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I don't know, like just explore me. It's also my birthday season at the end of July, so I want to like figure out, have a fun party. I want to go to a pool party in general. My girl Stacy's throwing one next week, so I'm excited about that. Just have a hot boy summer, like self-love, self-growth. But also, like, put some more ambition into... And I also want to start producing my own comedy show or variety show. Like, I want you to be involved and, like, find a venue and, like, start getting more behind-the-scenes producing stuff. So, like, just, like, tons of stuff that I have up in the air. But, yeah, any other things that you want to discuss? We still have, like, 6 minutes left where we have this. But I want to, like... Is there anything that you need to get off your chest before we wrap up? Or are we good?
I wanted to talk about Drag Race, but we can do it next.
No, wait, just give me... I haven't seen anything, so give me a minute and a half on Drag Race.
Okay, the fashions have been amazing. Gottmik will always be famous. I love Gottmik. Oh my gosh. Also, sidetrack from Drag Race. Go stream Kalani's song, and you need to watch goddamn movies with Melissa Barrera. Support these queens.
Support Melissa Barrera. Fuck the Scream franchise. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Fuck them, honestly. But I just want to say, like, we gotta support the queens that have been shouting from the rooftop since day one.
Yes.
I feel like it's definitely like, yes, we need to put pressure on our faves for doing that. Yes.
Stream Macklemore.
Yeah, stream the girlies that are doing the thing, because I feel like putting these people like at where the other people that we're trying to get talk, like having them be like super famous is like the way to go, because people will see them and they're the example and stuff like that.
And in case it wasn't clear, ceasefire now, free Palestine.
Exactly. So, that. But also, yes, going back to Drag Race, Gottmik is just amazing. I know she spent a hefty coin, but the representation that she's giving, if you're not even into Drag Race, you need to look at her looks. Also, Plastic Tiara.
Also, I love Roxy. I haven't seen her anything.
Yes, Roxy as well, but Plastic Tiara and Gottmik are giving you like editorial fashion. Like
Plastic looking hot in the confessionals too. Like, I'm like,
oh
Plastic?
Yeah, she's a cutie. She's a cutie in and out of drag. Yeah. And yes, also Chanel. Shout out to Chanel, Roxy.
Can I also give a shout out to two queens not on this season?
Okay.
Simone and Shea Coulee appeared in an episode of Abbott Elementary for a drag brunch, and we love that. So shout out to Shea Coulee.
Oh my gosh,
Shea Coulee is also attached to a Marvel project, Ironheart.
Yes,
which, like,
Ironheart.
Pop off, queen.
Whenever that comes out.
We don't know when that's going to be. That and Agatha. I don't know when they're coming out. But
I think Agatha's coming out. Is it
better. They're wrapped. And I love Sashir Zameda. Like, Sashir and Nicole have a show tomorrow. You want to go?
Where?
Largo.
Send me the details.
Yeah, I'm down to go.
Yeah.
All right, but what are your plugs? Like, where can people keep up with you?
You can follow me at the Awkward Drag Queen on Instagram.
Do you want to give out your main also, or nah? Just
no,
your okay.
No.
All right. So is it that Awkward Drag Queen or the?
It's
awkward?
_the _drag. Awkward _
Yes,
drag
Lauren Ross. Go follow.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of me, you can follow me at With the Fleep or at the Brazilian Dragon on social media. I am also the Brazilian Dragon podcast, where we got some stuff cooking on that side of things. But with that, if you want to throw us a couple bucks, feel free to Venmo at What the Fleep as well to fund our little podcast project for now until we get the Patreon set up and the Substack. Otherwise, go like and subscribe on all your favorite podcast platforms. We are on all of them. Same with the Brazilian Dragon. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to watch the video version. And just go give us some comments. Tell us you're listening. If you have suggestions for the Brazilian Dragon podcast or cultural FAQs, you can email me at felipe@braziliandragonpodcast.com or tweet at me or just message me. With all that said, Quandel, I do want to pitch you a game for next time.
Okay.
If I bring you pop culture related items and give you the Portuguese version, like animals or Marvel characters, and then you try to guess them. I feel like that's a game that we could play potentially on the cultural FAQs, and you try to guess it based on and it will be themed. What?
Are you gonna give me hints?
Well, I'm gonna give you the theme, and then I'll be like, so it'll be like Avengers characters, and then I'll be like their Portuguese version of their name, and then you try to guess who it is. Okay, so animals, cachorro.
A cat.
No, it's a dog. Close.
Oh.
What about baleia?
A bird.
Close. It's a whale.
Damn. Okay.
But we'll do niche or Whitney Houston songs, and then I'll give you the title. It'll be like a theme, and maybe it can be in line with the theme that we have for the episode.
I'm down.
But with all that said, you can go follow us on social media, and we will be back. Thank you again to Dustin for hosting and cleaning up the audio track. We love this space, and we'll be back in another month with an episode of Cultural FAQs. But until next time, obrigadero for listening and watching. Bye.